Shifting focus to the big political story from Punjab, can there be truce between Captain Amarinder Singh and Navjot Sidhu after all that has happened? Now we are told that an invitation has been sent out to Captain Amarinder Singh to officially be a part of that ceremony when Navjot Sidhu takes over as the Punjab Pradesh Congress Committee chief. But Captain Amarinder Singh or those close to him have said unless Sidhu apologizes, there is no question of a rapprochement. On the other hand, you've had Navjot Sidhu, who's had a major show of strength and a meeting with 62 Punjab Congress leaders and MLAs. India Today's Manjeet Sehgal has sent us this report.
Like a victorious warrior, he disembarked from his chariot on no less than the hallowed grounds of the Golden Temple. Anointed the Punjab Congress chief by the Gandhis despite massive opposition from a sitting Congress chief minister of the state. Navjot Sidhu is on a muscle-flexing Vijay Yatra in Punjab, practically rubbing his elevation in the face of Captain Amarinder Singh. Right before this show of strength at Amritsar's Harmandir Sahib, Sidhu met with 62 Congress Punjab MLAs at his residence in Amritsar, labeling the meeting Winds of Change, his most direct reveal of his intentions to replace the sitting Congress Chief Minister.
परिवार दे विच एकजुटता हमेशा ही रही है, हुण भी हो जाऊगी। थोड़े बहुते जे डिफरेंसेस हो जांदे कई बारी।
सारी पार्टी दी जो सोच हैगी आ ओदे नाल सारिਆਂ ਨੂੰ सहमत होके सब ने जो भी उन्हां दा फैसला होगा मेरे हिसाब नाल सब ਨੂੰ स्वीकार होना चाहिए।
Ever the showman and performer, Sidhu is fully aware of the power play in these images. Raising the temperatures to maximum levels, Sidhu has refused to break bread with his nemesis. In the last 48 hours, the escalating Punjab Congress feud has hit critical levels of hostility. Any hopes of a truce were dashed on Tuesday night when Chief Minister Amarinder's media advisor made it amply clear that his boss would not dignify Sidhu with an audience unless the latter apologized for disrespecting Captain Amarinder on social media. But if these images on Wednesday of Sidhu's political flamboyance don't convey the message clearly enough, sources in the Sidhu camp confirm that there is no way in hell their boss will bow and apologize.
Navjot Sidhu is doing a virtual show of strength by inviting as much as 62 out of 80 MLAs at his Amritsar residence. The meeting lasted for 3 hours. This is a big jolt to the Captain Amarinder Singh camp. Captain Amarinder Singh is still adamant and has asked Navjot Sidhu to tender a public apology for his 150 tweets which were derogatory in nature, which brought a major embarrassment to the Congress party.
And what that means is totally clear. Any semblance of a temporary truce, any hope of a makeshift reprieve, any glimmer of a chance of unity before the upcoming Punjab election lies in tatters on this acrimonious battlefield between two high-voltage Sardars. With Manjeet Sehgal in Amritsar, Bureau Report, India Today.
But even late at night, there are hectic political activities and parlays that are still on in Punjab, and India Today's Manjeet Sehgal is keeping a hawk eye on all these developments. Manjeet, reports seem to indicate that Kuljit Nagra, again working president of the party, he seems to be seeking an appointment with Captain Amarinder Singh. Is there now some kind of an effort from Navjot Sidhu to reach out to Captain Amarinder Singh, or is this just an attempt to rub his nose in the ground?
Yes, indeed, Gaurav. Yesterday, Chief Minister's office had clarified that so far no time was being sought for a meeting, but that the question does not arise as Captain was miffed with the party high command and Navjot Sidhu and was seeking his apology. But today, we spoke to 2 to 3 Congress leaders. Kuljit Nagra is one of them, who has now sought time to get an appointment from Chief Minister Captain Amarinder Singh. We also spoke to a couple of other leaders who are now confirmed to us that a formal invitation letter is being drafted that will be signed by Navjot Singh Sidhu, 4 working presidents, besides the former PCC chief Sunil Jakhar, that will be sent to Captain Amarinder Singh to grace the Sidhu's taking over ceremony. Sources also telling us that Party General Secretary and in charge Punjab Affairs, Harish Rawat, can come down to Chandigarh and he'll be personally inviting Captain Amarinder Singh for this ceremony. But it is still not known. There is still a suspense over Captain's presence because he is seeking Sidhu's apology. So far, Sidhu has not apologized, but his camp and even his supporters are against that. Sidhu should not tender any apology that will go against him. This is what is the ground reality, Gaurav.
But is Captain Amarinder Singh increasingly, is he getting isolated with 62 MLAs present with Navjot Singh Sidhu at that meeting today, with the party high command, especially Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, seen as, weighing in favor of Navjot Singh Sidhu?
Yes, indeed, Captain Amarinder Singh and his camp has been sidelined, ignored. None of the demands which Captain Amarinder Singh had made have been accepted by the party high command. If we talk about the strength, the CID reports confirmed that 44 Congress MLAs, which also includes 3 Aam Aadmi Party MLAs who recently joined Congress, were present and accompanied Navjot Singh Sidhu to 3 temple visits. But Navjot Singh Sidhu's camp has claimed that there were 62 MLAs, but sources told that some of the leaders were also former MLAs and MPs. But this is a big number, Gaurav, and this is an eye-opener for Captain Amarinder Singh's camp. Navjot Singh Sidhu also tweeted in the morning that now the winds are blowing towards a new direction, that is Navjot Singh Sidhu, and who has been doing outreach from last 3 days. Now it is just 3 days after he was declared a PCC chief, and he was able to garner the support of this number. The MLAs in large number joined Navjot Singh Sidhu when he paid obeisance at 3 temples in Amritsar today. Gaurav?
But would it be a mistake to write off Captain Amarinder Singh? Remember, when a soldier has his back to the wall, a soldier does what he knows best, and that is to fight back. Will that fight back lead to a victory? We'll be tracking this story very, very closely. India Today has the best team of reporters on ground zero in Chandigarh and New Delhi to get you the latest. But that is all I have time for on India First this evening. Many thanks for watching. News and updates continue on India Today. Stay with us.